Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Saturday evening short story reading. I'm your host and your pal, Dr. Bowers, from the YouTube channel PhD&D. Tonight's story is by Cassandra Khaw. It's called What is Meat with No God? And it comes from the excellent 2022 anthology Screams from the Dark, edited by Ellen Datlow. In preparation for this tale, I would advise the audience to remember three things. First, that it's possible to destroy something by assimilating it into a larger body, as a drop of water does when merged with the sea. Second, that from campfires of old and through the pages of literature and even across gaming tables today, we speak of those undead creatures raised as weapons of war and sent forth to punish by destroying, Death Knights. And finally, the only power that is strong enough to raise the dead is love. So settle in and join me for a reading of What is Meat with No God? By Cassandra Khaw. This is how the body dies again. Artillery fire, slurrying flesh, the meat within the armor rilling down the honeycombed front of the breastplate. Amazing what close-range cannonade can do to a body, especially given what enchantments were worked into the iron. Get up. Get up. We are not done yet. More amazing still is what the body can do when it is wefted to a will immortal as war. We are not done yet. We get up. The body rises as best it can, the vestibule of its belly become refuge for shrapnel, bone and bits of shattered bullet. It staggers first onto one knee and then another, collapses as there is not enough muscle on which to scaffold the action. So, the body crawls, mailed fingers sinking into the cool black earth, finding purchase in the sediment beneath that good soil. It drags itself forward towards the soldiers who'd gunned it down, forward to the army shuffling unsteadily in place, who look now to their generals for answers as to how a body can move when there is so little left of limb and sinew. Sometimes, the brain takes a minute to realize it's dead, says a mustached lieutenant, bayonet lean, a cigar between his teeth, its cherry rendering his pupils the orange of a senescent evening. Are you sure? They said there were holy warriors in this place, says a raw-boned private, the words murmured like a blasphemy, his eyes round, only pupil in its fear. Holy, chuckles the lieutenant. That's what they say, he replies. Nothing holy about those things. They're war engines powered by little boys and girls, says the lieutenant, stubbing his cigarette on a wall. No, that isn't how it works. But we will not tell them that. Instead, the body gets up. It gyres in place. In the clearing smoke, this is what the army sees. A lone figure in sacramental armor, the plate mail corroded, black. A single ragged red feather streaming from the helm, its veins jellied with brain. We shake our head, adjust the angle of our hand and how the heel of our palm sits on the pommel of the body's weapon, that ruinous thing. The body's right arm is notated by fractures from which it first trained with this weapon, when the body was smaller than its hulking armament, aigrette bones, and a face to which you could still pinion a name. The body steadies. It lifts its head, cocks a thoughtful look at the waiting army, and then impossibly it hefts its blade atop a shoulder, the chest beneath felted with gore now dark, now the consistency of jam left to crust on the mouth of a bottle. Shit, it's one of those things, those fucking things are real, says a corporal, shucking his helmet although he knows better than to do so, his face unmarked, its eaves unmarred by scars. There is no time for his expression to shed its bewilderment, not before the body's sword cleaves through his neck, severing vertebrae, the brain stem's tail. His head tumbles into the wet dirt, still wearing its careful wonder. There is no time for anything at all, as the body accelerates, and the army is unmade into a fine burgundy mist. This is why the body dies again, and again, and again, and again. It was given to a god when it was 19, the country of its bones unbroken, its acres holy still. They wreathed the body in summertime blossoms, lilacs and lilies, thin tufts of lavender, dahlias, daisies, hydrangea in such volume they drowned all sight of the body's face. But that was all right. In days it would not matter. When a body is given to a god, to this god in particular, this lord of the smithy and the secret places only the dead know to go, it is a kind of marriage. The body is wedded to the god's armor, its name given away like a bride, and it will not eat from thereon. It will neither sleep nor speak. The body will take no sustenance, save for the rich lard of the god's will, and it will be enough for the body, for what tool has needs outside of its wielder's wants? The body does not know this yet. In days, this will change. This is what the body remembers. It had a brother once. The memory is as rusted as the cartilage of our armor, details flaking, dried eshar rubbed from skin. But there was a brother, that much the body is sure of. We are sure of this too, and assured in turn by how the brother pulls at us like the north dragging the needle of a compass. Dusk buries what remains of the army in a bruise blue dark, the sun between the mountains like a lidded eye. The body exhales, steam geysering from the camel veining its mouth. Already, flies have come and the air seethes black with their wings. We tip our head back, drink the quiet. The body remembers, as do we, what it was like before our world died. And there was purpose, and there was our God, and there was our God's voice in the body's ear, and it did not hurt so much to be a holy thing, and it hurt even less to be alive. But, as with all things, like civilizations, like the clarity of early memories, like childhood, like hope, this will pass too. The body is dying, but the God hasn't yet said that we may rest. Awful slicks the road toward the enemy's city. They are the adversary, the reason why our God now rots beneath the burnt corpse of the capital where the body was born. The smoke from the desecration clogs the air, and miles away, what is left of the body's people wail for their God. The God is dead, but the body is not. So, we take our sword. We take this gore-lunged body with its gutted throat, its stoved breastbone, its dripping innards. We take the votives of its wounds, the offering of its ruin, and we place it on the road to the enemy's city, and we begin to walk. There was a brother once whom the body loved. We will find him. We must. This is what we remember. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was war. This is what the body remembers. A damp white rag laid over its forehead, set there as the body is coffined in restraints. "What are you doing?" it said softly, turning, afraid, although it knew it should not be, that the pain to come was what would make it holy, that its God would be there, that it would be all right, that it was safe, it was safe, it was safe. A hand spooned its jaw, steered its face so it was gazing again at the ceiling. Around wrists and ankles, the soft cups of its bended elbows, leather is tightened. It hurts. The air drones with prayers that the faithful are sure we know, but we are only holy because they made us so. "Don't look," said a woman's voice. "You don't want to look." "Why?" said the body. "Don't look," said the woman again. We woke when the body disgorged its first scream. This is how the body dies again. A bullet trepanning the body's skull, burrowing into brain, and the force of its entrance purees the delicate tissue, turns it nearly liquid. The body drops immediately, folding onto itself, onto its knees, head bent as if in worship. It rocks in place, the bullet smoldering, cooking the fat of the brain. On the battlements, a woman looks sidelong to her sister in arms, lowering a rifle kept oiled and oil-slick black. "What the hell was that?" she said. "Get up. Get up." "A dangerous relic," says her companion. "Don't stop shooting. These things don't die easy." "Get up. We are not done yet." As before, as it always has done, the body lurches upright again, blood drooling from its visor. It will not stand straight, its neck so broken even we cannot compensate for its pain. But we can move the body. We can guide its shambling tread forward, while the soldiers atop the parapet look on with mounting dread. "How is it moving?" we hear someone whisper. The body aches to breathe, but its lungs are silted with carrion. When it tries to breathe, what it does instead is choke. We take our sword as the body gurgles. We look up at the enemy faces, and we forget, for a sliver of a moment, that we are destitute, without our God and without our people, without the origins that told us we are more than just a weapon, without anything. "What are you all doing?" we hear someone bellow. "Take it down! If it gets past the walls, we are all dead!" There is so little left of this body, but we do not need much. We have subsisted on much less. As we ready ourselves for battle, the body heaves up a name. "Alphonse! Alphonse! Alphonse!" it shrieks to us. There was a brother once whom the body loved, and he is there, our Alphonse, waiting for his turn to be blessed. This is what they will remember. We left nothing alive. This is what we see. He is old now, this brother, face cragged by the years, the skin drained of all softness, lesioned with disease, the sum of him leached of the swagger the body remembers. But the eyes are the same, as are his magpie gestures, the staccato quickness of his movements, how he tilts his head one way and then another. "Alphonse," weeps the body one last time, and we reach a hand to the brother. "What happened to you?" If the body could still speak, we would have it say, "A god happened. You were there when they gave the body away." We are too late for such conversation, however, and we say nothing as what is left of our people stream past, all of them starved to brush strokes. If there were priests still, if there were larders dizzy with grain and cured meats, if our God was not ashes, we would have led them home. But there is nothing left, nothing but us and the memory of when we were as holy as hope, and the brother's hand, so small in the palm of our own. "I'm so sorry." Sludge blooms from our visor, reeking, viscous as tar, this emulsion we have made of the body. It dribbles first from the mouth of the helm, and quickly it becomes a deluge, until we are black with the substance, the darkness crawling up the brother's arm, as though somewhere in the muck there is enough of the body to remember what it is like to seek a sibling's warmth. We pay no attention to the brother's screams, too exultant in this moment. How long have we dragged the body along? How long have we ferried that dying mass? Now we are done. There is no more need for the body, not when the brother is so close. In a different time, they would have garlanded the brother with summertime blossoms, and there would have been feasts, and there would have been a woman telling him not to look as they tore him apart so he could be something holy. We drag the brother closer, and he squirms and wails as we fit him into us, one fistful of flesh at a time. He dies before we can finish the work. But that is all right. This is only the first death. There will be many more before we are done.